All right, let's hit the
It
field.
is Tuesday, October 7th, and the Yankees were once again fighting for their playoff lives, facing a 2-0 series deficit to the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 3 of the American League Division Series. Carlos Rodon was on the mound. Erik Kratz joins me to break it all down. My recap and your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
This episode presented by Fox One.
Hooah!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and welcome to Erik Kratz, member of the 2017 Yankees that successfully came back from a 2-0 deficit. Now, he wasn't on the ALDS roster, but he was on the wild card round roster against the Twins. EK, I'm glad you're with me tonight because I'm not sure I could handle this one on my own. This was one of the most wild and crazy games I've ever seen. Yankees down 6-1 in the fourth inning, getting absolutely boat raced. I'm getting calls from people saying they're turning off the game. They can't take it anymore. They're staring at the rat poison on the shelf. And then one of the greatest comebacks in postseason history. What's your big takeaway from tonight's game?
Welcome, Yankee fans. Welcome back to the postseason because you were buried. You can get the dirt out from underneath your fingernails because you were buried, and now you're back alive. The momentum actually might be in your favor because the Jays have a bullpen game that just pitched the entire game tonight.
That's something I didn't think about. You know, they're going to be tired, and it's not even just the tiredness because the adrenaline, I think, will make up for some of that, but the Yankees just saw a lot of these guys. Like, they just saw them. Like, you know, Stanton has had a few at-bats against Varland now in this series. So if he has to face him in a big spot, you know, it's going to be kind of like the end of that Guardian series last year where they had seen those relief pitchers for the Guardians a number of times and they finally started to get to him. But I want to talk about Judgy for a minute. Your friend, your former teammate, for years now, he has been the subject of scrutiny, fair or unfair. Obviously, MVP caliber seasons during the regular season, but never really had that big postseason moment in a game that they'd won. He'd had a few in games they lost. He had the big game-tying home run last year in a game they lost. He had a big home run in the World Series and then dropped a fly ball that led to a comeback. Today, a fly ball gets dropped, and that opens the door for Judge, and he hits a 3-run home run to tie the game after they trailed 6-1. Stadium went nuts. My watch alerted me that the decibels were too loud for my ears in my room, and the decibels were coming from my own body, Erik. They were coming from my own body. I was screaming at over 95 decibels. So what does a comeback like this do for the momentum of the team, the confidence of the team, and what does a game like this where Judge goes 3 for 4 do for him going forward?
I don't know that it does anything for him. Like, this dude exudes confidence. I get it. It hasn't happened in the postseason. And even on Foul Territory, we were talking about it, how I feel like this is still a good player, even in the postseason. And other guys were saying, well, he hasn't done it for the last 4 years of the postseason. They need him to show up. He hasn't changed. He doesn't turn into a pumpkin. And he had his moment where the bases were loaded and he struck out. You're going to remember the negatives. And why are you going to remember the negatives from Aaron Judge? Because he hasn't put a ring on that thing yet. Tonight was one step closer to be able to get that ring. Is it still an uphill battle? Yes. What you said about their bullpen, it is in the Yankees' favor because they've seen them, because these guys are tired, because they scored all these runs against this bullpen. They scored all these runs against his bullpen the last game, not last night, but the last game. The Yankees are they're in the realm. I'm not going to say they're in the driver's seat, but there is definitely a lane when your superstar, Aaron Judge, gets 3 hits and drives in 4 runs.
Yeah. So I got to say, in the third inning of this game, I was watching Michael Jordan 1984 Olympic basketball highlights on my laptop. That's where I was in a decisive playoff game. We had Jazz Chisholm yawning on the field. I don't think I've ever seen a player yawn on the field in the third inning of a decisive playoff game. And then the real game began. Let's go ahead and break it down with key takeaways here. So we got to talk a little bit about Vladimir Guerrero because this guy has been unconscious. He's hitting .615, Erik, .615 in the series. Let me ask you this. Is it out of the realm of possibility the Yankees just give him the Bonds treatment the rest of the way? Just 4 fingers, go take first base. You can't beat us. Beat us on the base paths if you want to beat us. That's what I would do. I'd give him the Bonds treatment.
The rest of the way, no. There will be situations, and it'll be situations that I think are pretty common. Here's the thing. It's 3 homers in 3 games. And I think each homer, they walked the guy in front of him.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. You don't want to give a guy the Bonds treatment? Don't give the guy before him the Bonds treatment. I don't care who it is. What did Ernie Clement have today? 4 hits? Ernie Clement went
4 for 4. He's hitting .636 in this year. It's not a lot of times that you got 3 guys hitting over 500 in a playoff series. You got Guerrero at .615, Varsho at .583, and Clement at .636. That's pretty good.
It's really good. But you can't, like, Clement wasn't hitting in front of Vladdy tonight. I think it was Schneider was hitting in front of
Schneider.
Vladdy.
Yep. He went 1 for 3 with a walk.
Like, you can't walk Davis Schneider. It can't happen. Like, it's got to be middle fastball, see how far you can hit it. And John Smoltz was saying, he's looking hitterish. No, you know who's looking hitterish? It's the dude whose dad is in the Hall of Fame. On deck. The dude who's making $500 million. That's who's looking hitterish, and he's just on deck. This guy has been a Yankee killer, but he's been a lot killer. Like, he's a walk to strikeout guy, 1-to-1 kind of guy. Like, he puts together a pro at bat, and when he's hot, it's not like Giancarlo Stanton when he's hot, because there's still punch outs when he's hot. There's just moon shots that are going 500 feet. But Vladdy can hit. Vladdy can run the bases. Vladdy is a problem for the Yankees right now, and the only way to slow him down, make sure his damage is solo shots, because he doesn't take a lot of shots at dingers when it's solo shots. He's going to get his hits. He's going to take his hits. It's fine. Stop putting the person on in front of him.
Yeah. Daniel Arce is with me, says, give him the Bonds treatment. So the Yankees refused to quit, answered back with an RBI single from Stanton. I feel like Stanton is the last missing ingredient. He's got some RBIs in this series, but he hasn't hit that big home run yet. I feel like over the next couple of games, I don't know if you believe in do. I believe in do, especially when it comes to Giancarlo. Eventually, he's going to run into one, and I feel like maybe even seeing these guys for a 3rd and 4th time in the series gives him an advantage there, because he's one of these guys that, with reps, he just gets better and better and better. I could see Stanton having a big day tomorrow or a big game 5. And also, we got to mention the doubles by Grisham and Judge, base hit by Bellinger. Just a little rally to put, when you're down 6-1, I think it's very easy for this team to just roll over and be like, great season, guys. Let's hit the golf course tomorrow. But they refuse to quit, EK. A lot of heart.
They definitely refuse to quit. But they're also a really good lineup. Like, to me, the biggest sign that I saw in this game was Jazz Chisholm, because I have his at-bats to me have been non-competitive. Really, it kind of looks like he's got that, like, yeah, bro, I'm so nonchalant. It's not even a big deal. I'm just going to, if I hit one, it's cool. If I don't, it's cool too. Like, him running into a homer, maybe it gets him back in that, competitive mode. And G doesn't just hit one. When G hits him, he hits 2 or 3. And it comes in droves. The thing I like about G is if you go back to the year he won the MVP in the National League, he was super turned. Super turned. And it's almost like his front leg is stiff. That's when he's feeling it. And the more he sees these bullpen guys, the more he's going to be able to set the machine in between innings to exactly the pitch he's going to see. That's what he does in between innings. He goes under the cage and he sets the machine. He's like, no. This guy's cutter's a little bit different. Turn the right wheel a little bit more. And then he gets 9 feet away from the machine and he's just like, pow, pow. And that quick swing, and he just grooves that, goes out there, and he sees the pitch. It's like he gets into this zone, and the more you're seeing that pitch, the more you're giving him looks at that, the more he can lock into it in between innings. And, yeah, he's going to be a problem because, as Garrett Cole said to Rafael Devers, they're going to do this to Judge the rest of the time.
Yeah, I think so. But it looks like we got 1,300 people in the chat, almost 1,400. So it's about time we get to the main event. So bottom 4, Barger drops the fly ball. That opened the door for Aaron Judge to have his moment. Biggest swing of his postseason career so far. 3-run home run off the left field foul pole. I've watched a lot of games at the new stadium. I've seen them all. I don't know if I've ever seen the stadium that crazy before. Every single person in that stadium was jumping up and down, was screaming at the top of their lungs. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people in New York that go to work tomorrow with no voice, right? They can't take any calls because they got no voice because they're screaming. And Judge double glance at the camera almost to say, I got this. I'm back. You doubted me. I feel like this might have opened the floodgates for him, but I think you're right. I think they're going to take their chances with Bellinger, with Rice, with Stanton. They're going to make someone else beat them over the next couple of days. And the way to get around that is, like you said, get on base in front of him, get on base behind him. Like you can't walk him if you got guys on first and second, right? You can't do that. You can't, if somebody behind him is raking, you can't pitch around him.
You can pitch around him. Here's what I say about the postseason. When there's a base open, there's a base open in the sense that you have third open. I get it. You don't want to push those guys around, but you do not want him to beat you. You don't want anybody to beat you because it's the postseason and one run might win it. For Judge to hit that home run, for him to hit it where he hit it, it was Louis Varland, 100 miles an hour, up out of the zone and in. Of all those pitches, 528 pitches over 100 miles an hour have been thrown out of the zone. 0 all season has been hit for a home run.
Wow.
What he's doing is incredible. The fact that he was 3 for 3 or 2 for 2 going into that at bat, and then he was 3 for 3. He's hitting over 500. He is too much of a threat, and I definitely Garrett Cole him to first base if I'm the Blue Jays.
Tatis to the Yankees, great username, says, Raleigh and Judge homered tonight 1 minute apart. How crazy is that? I never asked you who you got for MVP. I know you're a catcher, and I know you know how difficult it is for catchers to hit, especially given your lifetime 200 average or whatever it was. But you were a great framer. 209. You hit higher than Derek Jeter with the Yankees. You had a higher batting average than Derek Jeter with the Yankees, I think.
Than a lot of guys with the Yankees. So it was just easier. It was just easier that way. Who do I have for MVP? It's a long discussion, but it's Judge.
Nice. I agree with you 100%. Jazz Chisholm, huge go-ahead home run tonight. Well singled in the 8th. Yankees run. Should have been safe at second, but the Yankees pissed away both challenges early in the game. I didn't like either one of those challenges, man. I don't know if I've ever seen the Yankees blow 2 challenges. They almost always get them right.
Okay. Let's go back to 2017 and Lonnie Chisenhall, the check swing off his knob they didn't challenge in time. Brett Webby, the replay guy, still the same replay guy 8 years later. He's challenging them all. He ain't getting wasted. You get an extra one here in the postseason, so he's challenging them all. Let's challenge him up.
And we got to mention Tim Hill and Devin Williams, who both threw the ball well tonight. Doval and Cruz. Also, Cruz, an inning and a third, 3 strikeouts. Doval, a scoreless inning. Hill, 1 1/3 scoreless innings. Devin Williams, 1 1/3 scoreless innings with 2 strikeouts. And Bednar with the 5-out save. And Yankees are still alive. Richard C. says Kratz was a better hitter than Volpe. I think if you had Volpe's power, you'd still be playing. You did walk off. You walked off Chapman.
I didn't get as many at bats as Volpe. So, Richard C. Much love, kid.
All right. Well, player of the game, the Belt Award. I want to give an honorable mention to Tim Hill and the Yankees bullpen. I thought about doing a team award, but tonight there's really only one choice: the captain, Aaron Judge. Look at this. We got viewers in Croatia. I heard about that in civics class. I thought it was bullshit. It's a real place, I guess. Doval has been throwing the ball well. He's looked really good. And then Upstate Yankee says, bring back Devin Williams. I mean, he's pitched better down the stretch. I mean, he gave us a lot of heart attacks this year, but he's really put it together at the right time. You think that there's any chance they bring him back, considering he lost the closer role? I don't think so.
Nope,
No.
I don't think so. I don't have it. I don't even think it's really a discussion. I think his groove he wasn't really feeling his groove here. I think they tried to just make him throw so many more changeups, and I don't think he was comfortable, and he's going to go get paid somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, I'm going to do something tonight that I know you're really looking forward to. We're going to sit through some Yankees voicemails here. We got actually, this one is great because I'm going to cut out all the misery and doom from the first few innings, but I want to finish with this one because this guy's going to wake up
Derek,
and hear this.
I just want to say thanks for another great season. It's the fourth inning. I'm going to go to bed. I'm not watching this team anymore, but I really appreciate everything you do. Have a good night.
He's gone to bed. I sincerely hope that guy's telling the truth. I sincerely hope that he went to bed and that he wakes up and realizes you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't ever do that.
Never do it in the playoffs unless you're a Miami Heat fan. Don't ever do that in the playoffs.
Okay, you got a call about Jazz.
Derek, tonight I really need you to address one thing. Jazz Chisholm yawning. I need you to, Derek, I really need you to talk about this. This is something we can't skip. Send that guy to Cancun and trade him in the offseason. I can't stand him.
Well, this came in before he hit his home run, but he was yawning early in the game. Look, yawning is the result of not having enough oxygen, not necessarily being bored. Maybe he just wasn't breathing great. You know what I mean? Like maybe he's stuffed up. I yawn a lot when I'm stuffed up in my nose or whatever, but maybe maybe he was a little bored because playing second base is boring when everybody's hitting ropes in the gap. But what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Jazz yawning?
Man, everything. There's just a lot going on around Jazz. But as a Yankees fan, are you finding 30 home runs from another second baseman?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do the opposite of what this guy says. I want to give him an extension. The guy's, to me, the best second baseman in baseball offensively. And defensively, he's a victim of his own athleticism, I think, sometimes. And he tries to make plays that he probably should hang on to the ball, and he'll end up throwing balls into the camera well, killing the mayor's kid in the second row. But he's an unbelievable athlete, and I want him back on the Yankees.
I think defensively, he's a victim of his, like I said before, his nonchalantness. He has a really good infield coach in Travis Chapman who has helped Volpe through this injury, and I know he's making a ton of errors, but when you can't throw the ball, when you can't dive and pop up and turn and crank on a ball, you have to reset your feet and all that stuff. But to me, Jazz Chisholm, the ball to his left on a double play is a tough ball. He's too athletic to have that like kind of half falling down throw. He's got to take that extra half step where it's planted and he makes a good throw. Turns from third, especially McMahon, the way that he gets the ball out of his glove so fast and it's a good feed. And then you see Jazz just like turn and grenade it into the stands because he's not taking that extra half step is what I would call it, to be set and be ready and be like it. To me, it looks like he just is like, you know what? I'll try to cool it up. Like I want to be Robinson Cano. I want to be like Schwab and all this stuff. To me, be like Jose Altuve. Be like Chase Utley because you're way more talented with the glove and arm than both of those guys. They just play harder and get themselves in better positions. Anyway, That's my Jazz rant.
So we have a caller that calls in all year long, and he's extremely tough on Aaron Judge. I have told him several times to stop smoking crack because he's been very tough on Aaron Judge because he thinks the Judge is not clutch. And I would just like to play a quick message from Steve from Maine, who's eating a little crow tonight.
Yes, Derek, Steve calling from Maine. You probably got a million calls. I don't know why I'm bothering. I'm as ecstatic as I can be that Judge has finally had his big moment. I've got goose pimples from the toes to the top of my head. Finally, he's removed the stain of ignominy from his record. I hope we win this game. I hope we get the ball to Schlettler tomorrow. Okie dokie. Let's go.
All right. So what are you expecting from Cam Schlittler tomorrow since he finished with that?
I am expecting to be riveted to every pitch
Oh,
because
me too.
he punched out the world against the Red Sox, a team that does what on the road? They punch out. The Blue Jays don't. The Blue Jays do not strike out. How is he going to navigate a lineup that doesn't strike out and puts the ball in play? Does he have the ability to make pitches off the barrel, up in the zone? Guys that don't strike out. Think of Alejandro Kirk. Now he's probably the best of not striking out on a team that doesn't strike out. But the ball's up in the zone, change up. He was taking some absolute rips from Devin Williams late in the game. Fastballs. He's just going to touch those balls. And when they're up in the zone, that's the pitch that he can take out of the ballpark. That's the pitch that he can do damage on. When they're down in the zone, it's just going to be weak ground balls. Teams that strike out or that don't strike out, the ball down in the zone, they're going to hit a lot of ground balls. So can Cam Schlittler get up above their bats for the strikeout, which is what he wants to do, but can he also get his outs in the bottom of the zone? That will be the biggest thing. Somebody at 6'6", being able to get that extension and ride the ball down in the zone, we'll see. That's where I am. I'm all about it. I get it. The other game can be an elimination game too, but their offenses stink. I am all about. Maybe I'll go to bed after Cam Schlittler goes out of the game tomorrow. But
it's all I'm going to be able to think about tomorrow, man. I'm just going to be useless at work. Final call here. This is Brian, who calls in all year.
Man, never a doubt, huh? Holy moly. I was
never a doubt
doubting these boys left and right there after Rodon left without even finishing the third inning. Can't give them enough credit for the fight they have to come back against this team that's just been dominating them, honestly.
So the comeback, the heart, the feistiness, the fire, all things that we love to see. I want to thank also Fox 1 real quick because they waited until the potential final game of the season here, but luckily the Yankees were able to get it done. But this could have been the final game of the season to finally sponsor the show. But you can catch all of the playoff coverage on Fox 1. It's a live streaming service, and you can stream all your favorites together in one place, including all of the American League playoff games, just like you can watch Cam Schlittler tomorrow. And you can also keep up with Tigers-Mariners. Mariners leading that series 2-1, EK. Look, I didn't expect the Mariners to jump up 2-1 on the Tigers. You think they can finish it off?
Oh, I did. I expect the Mariners to win the American League.
Really?
Sorry to hear that on this show, but I thought this team was – I definitely think they're better than the Tigers. I think the Tigers' offense is kind of like the Yankees' pitching, non-existent right now.
Wow. Well, I'm hoping that the Yankees get a chance to face off against them. They actually handled the Mariners pretty well this year. They had a great comeback against Munoz one night. Brian Wu, I know he's been hurt. He scares the hell out of me, but if he's not pitching, I like the Yankees' chances if they can get there. But you got to get through Toronto, and you can catch it on Fox 1 from MLB postseason to NFL on Fox to big noon Saturdays with Fox 1. You get it all live. Start your 7-day free trial today. Offers are subject to change. Go to fox1.com for complete terms and conditions. Fox 1 streaming now. Let's hear it for our sponsor tonight, Fox 1. All right, EK. Just want to get some final predictions. How do you think that the all right, Jazz Chisholm, how do you think tomorrow works out? The Yanks going to send this thing back to Toronto?
I do. I really do. And maybe that's recency biased. I just think there is some way that Cam Schlittler goes 6 innings and gives up 4 runs. I think there's just no world where I see a low scoring game tomorrow. And I've been supremely disappointed in both teams pitching. And I think it's going to be another slugfest. And the Yankees in Yankee Stadium they're him. They are him. And I am fearful for Game 5 for the Yankees, but man, do I want to see it. So I think the Yankees win tomorrow night.
I hope you're right. Before the series, I had a crazy idea, and a few people called me crazy because we were talking about how Luis Gil was going to start the game, and he's a guy who throws hard but walks guys. And my thought was mess with the timing. Throw Ryan Yarbrough out there. Do you think he's somebody who could factor in? Just kind of mix and match.
I didn't even know Yarbrough was on the roster.
I think he is. I think he's on the roster, right? He might not be. I might be an idiot. I haven't looked at I think he's on the roster. But
okay,
lefty,
if he is on the roster and he needs to be in the game,
tough day.
And it's nothing against Yarbrough. It's against the fact that you saw what their bullpen did tonight. And if you're Aaron Boone and you have a day off, all them boys are racked. All them boys are racked up, ready to go again. You might even see Bednar for 7. He got 5 out tonight. He might get 7. Like, this is the time. Like, it's nothing against Yarbrough. It's against the fact. Now, if they're up
not on the
6-1,
roster, my bad. That's my bad. I thought he was.
Thank you, Richard C. I figured. And Nick Weiner. Nice.
Nick Weiner. All right. Well, EK, hopefully we'll see you again in the ALCS, Yankees versus the Mariners. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, one more time from Mr. John Sterling. And a reminder, you can catch Erik every day pretty much on Foul Territory, the mothership, as we call it. And we'll be back tomorrow with a pregame show, and we might have to have Frankie Baseball back on. He seems to have been good luck this time. But he's usually bad luck, but we won today, so we might have to, he's usually a big-time jinx, but we figured it out today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button and subscribe. Check out NYYDesigns.shop for some great merch. Support our sponsors. It helps keep the show going. And you can find us on all major audio platforms, so be sure to subscribe there too. But most importantly, come back again soon. We'll see you next time.